know they said that about the Trans-Texas Corridor, I think you said it, but I just wanted to say that again. No one ever thought that we were going to stop the Trans-Texas Corridor. It was the done deal of the century. So, questions for Patty?
Don't these idiots know that the aquifer that we're over doesn't, capture that with water?
They intend to take it out of the Simsboro, which is the deeper aquifer. They carbon dated the water in the Simsboro. It's 5,000 years old, which means it is a slow recharging aquifer. They are deliberately going after the lower aquifer because they're assuming that there's no sand between that and the upper aquifer to protect the upper aquifer. But come on, people, water goes down. Okay? Now, if you got money, it'll go uphill. But you're right. And we've already agreed to a 300-foot drawdown. Okay? Yes, sir.
Patty, you mentioned 900,000 gallons out of Bastrop County. So
it's going to be 9.7 billion gallons a year.
Is this out of the Grizzle Sands aquifer?
This is all of these. Well, some of those are going to be tapping into that, but what they're aiming for is the Simsboro, which is lower.
Okay.
They're going after the lower aquifer and the older water.
I appreciate your enthusiasm in wanting to fight this. What is it that we face? How is it actually going to be stopped?
Well, first of all, they've been talking about this for a while, but what you need to be aware of is that the plans are out. It's Region K and Region L. They are public record now. All of this information, I'm not making this up, it is in the record. It just came out last week. Now, there's going to be a meeting on September 23rd, September 21st, that is going to be here? No. Where?
I think it's going to be
Oh, okay, Aquawater. And the people that should be defending their rights, our representatives and our state senator, Glenn Hager, are supposed to be at that meeting to answer questions about how they intend to deal with this as a district. Okay, y'all need to be there. You need to be at every Lost Pines Groundwater Conservation District meeting. There's one tonight over at Giddings. That will rotate around next month. It'll be here in Bastrop. Right now, those people are standing between you and what the Groundwater District or what the Texas Water Board has in mind. The Lost Pines Groundwater Conservation District, which represents Bastrop and Lee, has put a moratorium on the deep wells. But they're going to get challenged in court, and we've got to stand behind these people because I can tell you right now they're going to get sued because these big corporations, and that's like opt-ins. We've got a list of the companies that are up here asking for these permits. This is big money to them. And, they're going to make the argument, and my opponent is also about property rights. And they're going to talk about right of capture. Okay, now, when they put in the Texas Constitution, we were going to have right of capture. I don't think Sam Houston and them ever thought anybody could put down a 6,000-foot well. What they had in mind was you had a right to the water under your land to help you make a living on your land. And if 2% of the population who owns land has leased their water rights, then let them take 2%. But don't let them take 40 or 50% or more than that. It's kind of like cattle rustling. I run cattle, okay? If I sell you my cattle, that's a business deal. If I cut a hole in my fence and invite my neighbor's cattle over and I sell those to you too, that's called cattle rustling. And you get in a lot of trouble. I don't see any difference between putting down a well for me to use water under my land or for me to sell my share of the water. But when I put down a deep well and I start pumping the water out so far that my neighbor doesn't have a well anymore and my community doesn't have water anymore. And let me tell you, if you live in the city, this is going to affect you because it's going to draw down off the water. It's going to draw down Bastrop water. Giddings already over there is scared to death because I can tell you right now, as that water goes down, it's going to cost millions if we drill those wells. That's water rustling. And we've got to stop it. And the best way we stop it is we don't build the pipeline. That's the way we stop it.
So
Other questions?
where's the state's jurisdiction to allow this to happen? Or is it legislation?
It's legislation. They have a right to put together a plan, okay, every 5 years. And what's happening is the Lower Guadalupe River Authority is a nonprofit like LCRA, and they are tasked to make sure that their area has water. Now, what they're going to do is the pipelines will be built by private companies. The state has to approve it. And right now, what's standing between us and them is the Lost Pines Groundwater District, because they're not allowing water to be pumped. The permits have to be in hand. The private companies are going to put this pipeline in, but because they're working under the auspices of the Guadalupe River Authority, they have the ability to use every domain.
Let's take one more.
Well, why can't the right of capture be changed? Do other
That's a
states?
legislative issue.
Well, I mean, why can't we lobby to change that?
Well, that is something that's really hard because a lot of people who have land don't want to be told they can't put water. Now, a lot of people are under the idea that the groundwater district can tell you whether or not you can put a well in. That's not true. You can put a well in that draws up to 25,000 gallons a day for your use. And they may ask you to tell them that you're doing it, but they cannot prevent you from putting that pump in. All they want to do is make sure that they can account for all the wells because they just want to know where a drawdown is. But what a lot of these landowners, especially over in Lee, are doing right now is they're having these big water harvesters come in, these water profiteering companies, and they're buying up or they're leasing up water rights. And they're promising these people that they're going to get rich off of these water rights. The truth is, most of the contracts, pretty much all the contracts, are going to pay 25 cents per 1,000 gallons once they start pumping. Okay, they haven't started pumping yet. But those leases can be good for up to 20 years with an automatic renewal unless you deliberately cancel it after 20 years.
The 25,000 gallons a day criteria, that's for personal use. Is it for example, a ranger, is cattle, et cetera?
Let me tell you, 25,000 gallons a day or more will keep my cows in water. What they want is, let's say somebody wants to do commercial agriculture, and you're now pumping a whole lot more water than that, then you have to go get a permit. But, they're going to look at the impact. And agriculture is not going to have that kind of impact. I mean, one person alone that is standing, waiting to be permitted over with the Lost Pines Groundwater District is wanting 52,000 acre feet a year. That's one permit. Okay? And there's 5 of those companies standing in line.